Come one, come all, get comfy, get cozy. It is time for my November wrap up. My cozy drink of choice is a hot chocolate. 1, my mug is the cutest mug ever. 2, it's so perfect. The best way to do a hot chocolate is to put the marshmallows on the layer of hot chocolate, then the whipped cream, then marshmallows on top. Because then you get the melted marshmallows and you get the regular ones on top, and it's so perfect. So if anyone's worried, which you're probably not, but I have a coaster, I'm not just putting my hot chocolate dead on my bookshelf. I would judge me too if I did. It honestly feels like forever since I was last here, so I actually don't remember how I did it before. All I know is I was in front of my bookshelf, and this time I have my beautiful tree. Yeah, this is kind of gonna be like a quick fire wrap up, because 1, I spoke about I think every single one of these books in a different video in detail, so I'm not gonna do that again. I'm not repeating myself, and also you could just watch the video to get my opinions if you want to. Oh wait, yeah, cool. So with all that said, I'm gonna get into it. Overall, I read 10 books. I read 9 romance and 1 romantasy. 3 of my romance were Halloween novellas, and 4 of my romance were also Christmas novellas. My average rating of the month was 3.2. which isn't good. I'm not happy with that. But then again, I was kind of in a reading slump this month. I didn't read that much, and clearly I didn't pick good books. My favorite book was Quicksilver. I gave it a 5-star, 5 out of 5. And my least favorite was Sinner's Atone, and I gave it a generous 2. Very generously gave that a 2. And that was only because I love Swim Sketch with my whole entire heart that it got a 2. My overall pages was 2067. Right, let's not repeat that again. Let's not do that again. This month I only bought 5 books, and honestly I'm like, did I actually buy 5 books? Because I feel like I would have bought more, but apparently I only bought 5. I bought the Jacksonville Rays book set off Amazon. It was like 30 quid, and I was like, perfect, because I've been wanting to own these books and read these books for so long. And Pucking Around is actually on my 26 books in 2026. Well, it was one of them. Anyway, that, and I also bought Brimstone, which I will be reading this month. Spoiler to my TBR. Starting off amazing with my month, I read If It Makes You Happy by Julia Livia, and I rated it a 4.85. Again, I'm not talking too much about it, because if you want to see me read this book, I read it in my November TBR takedown. Go watch it. All I'm saying is I love the book. Him, his daughters, his sister, Rocket, her, perfection. I loved all of it. But there was one part that I didn't like, and I feel like it was just unnecessarily put in there, so I gave it a 4.85. But if it didn't have that, could have been a 5-star, because the ending went exactly how I wanted it to go. So I was like, okay, thank you. Next up, I read A Hellish Halloween by Liana Valerian. I'm really sorry. And I rated it a 3. This was when I was doing a reading challenge for a video, and I was going into a reading slump. I didn't know what I wanted to read. It was still the beginning of November, so I was like, if I want to read any more Halloween short stories, it has to be now. So I read A Hellish Halloween. Again, I read this for a YouTube video, and it was my reading 300 pages a day for 3 days video. I'm not gonna say that again. Unless I say it wasn't in a video and I talk about it, assume it was in a video. Next, I read Sinner's Atone. I'm not getting into it. I had like a 10-minute rant by Swim Sketcher, sorry, and I rated it a 2. As I was saying, again, I have like a 10-minute rant out there in my 300-page video, so go watch it if you want to hear it. Then moved on to Fright Night by M.L. Philpott, and I rated it 3.89. I really enjoyed it. It went really perfectly for a short story. I would recommend it. Also, for my reading 300 pages a day or whatever the hell it's called, I read Hunter by Olivia Lewis, and I rated it 3.75. Again, I really enjoyed it. I had a great time. I spoke about it in that video, and if you want more convincing, watch that video. I can't remember the exact time, but if you skim it, I put pictures up so you can see when to stop if you want to need a little more convincing to read it. But I guess it's now Christmas, so you probably won't. It didn't really give Halloweeny spooky vibes. It just took place on the Halloween day. Like, it wasn't actually a big deal, so I'd still recommend it. I then moved on and read my favorite book of the month, and honestly, one of my favorite books of the the year was Quicksilver by Callie Hart. I rated it a 5-star. I read that for my November TBR takedown, but I don't really talk about it. But then I find it so hard to talk about fantasies without spoiling it because you get so much. Basically, it basically starts off with a girl in the poorest of the poor. I think it was like, oh, what was it called? Like something 3. Like, she is the lowest of the low dirt. Starts off with our main character, and she's fighting with one of the Queen's guards right now. She ends up escaping with something of his and climbing over the wall back to her, like, area of where she lives. Again, I can't think of what it's called. They end up coming looking for her, like, it's really important. They need this piece. So they've came for her, they found her, they've taken her back to the Queen, to, like, the palace. And she's been sentenced to death, basically. As the guard is, like, trying to her, she is, like, hearing this voice and stuff and gets drawn to this sword. And while she's fighting for her life, she grabs the sword, obviously, thinking it would help her. But it ends up opening up the portal to the Feywild. It's definitely not a portal. I can't think of what it's called, but to the Feywild anyway. And this Fey comes out, saves her, and takes her back to the realm. And our story goes from there. And honestly, Kingfisher... the manual, I did not expect it to flow so smoothly. Every single character, perfection. Oh my god, she could not have read it better if she tried. I promise. I'm so excited for Brimstone, and it's on this month's TBR. I then moved on to my Christmas books. These I'm not going to talk about really at all because it's for a video coming out. And I started by reading All By My Elf by Olivia Dade and gave it a 2.25. I read Mary... You think I'd be able to say it? Like, I've struggled with this now for the past 3 days. I then read Merriman and Mayhem by Alexandria Bellefleur. I'm so sorry, I really can't speak or pronounce names, and I rated it a 3. I then finished the series with Only Santa's in the Building by Alexis Daria, and I rated it a 4. That was one of my top ones in that series. And lastly, I read Christmas with My Ex's Dad by Liz Archer and rated it a 3. Again, I'm not talking about them. They're for a video coming out, and I talk about them in there, so you don't need to hear it twice. I'm not saying it twice. That is it. Anyway, that's my wrap up. Yeah, I think that's the quickest wrap up I've ever done. Pretty much it. Oh, my TBR. On my TBR this month, I had... I had Sinners Atone, Twilight, The Cinnabon Bookstore, Quicksilver, and If It Makes You Happy. And I read 3 of them from... favorite to least favorite. It's pretty obvious anyway. It's pretty much exactly what I did. It was Quicksilver as my favorite, If It Makes You Happy, and then Sinners Tone last because it just wasn't my favorite. Okay, next up for my December TBR, which I always fail anyway, but I still say it every month and I don't know why. Starting off with Christmas book, I got My December Darling by Lauren Asher. I love Lauren Asher. Look at the cover. It's short. It's Christmas. Can it be bad? Can I read it? We'll see. My book 2, I don't own it, and I'm not gonna lie, I can't really remember the name. I think it's Dashing All the Way. No clue who the author is. I'll put it up here or up here, anywhere. So that book. And my last 3 books are specifically for the end of the year. It's not Christmassy. I just want to read them before 2026. And that's Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, Twisted Bonds by Cora Riley. Or Riley, I still don't know. I think it's Riley. I really need to search that. I've said it now like 50 times. Anyway, and lastly is Brimstone by Callie Hart. I need this. And also one, I don't like this braid edges. We're not going to talk about how much I don't like this book compared to the other. But look! Oh, my baby! The map looks so much better in this one. So these are my books for December. Also adding Dashing All the Way somewhere on the screen. Anyway, these are my books. And I also wanted to do books I want to read this Christmas. 1, because this video is going to be really short. And 2, I just want to see what ones, like when I look back, what I chose and what I did or didn't read. And I also bought a lot, so... Wow, I so need to get better at holding books. So of course a Christmas physical book I want to read this Christmas also is this one, but it's on my December TBR. Realistically, am I going to read all these? I don't think that highly of my reading. My reading skills. Oh, come on. You're joking there? Again? What is happening? Right, just sit there and behave, please. I'm begging you. Anyway, I'm gonna get started before I drop any more books. First up, I want to read, this one I desperately do want to read, is Window Shopping by Tessa Bailey. The cover isn't as cute as the American one, or the one that, I didn't even know it was just an American one, or if it's an, I don't know, okay? I found it in TK Maxx and I bought it because it was cheap and I wanted to read this. Next up is Good Spirits. I bought it in Waterstone. It's basically the Ghost to Christmas Past. Okay, literally give it to me. And also found out that's literally going book talk crazy, and I was like, yay, I love being with a trend. And I didn't even know. I was like, okay, Maya. Next up is Wreck the Halls by Tessa Bailey. I bought this before I searched it. Haven't heard the best things, but will I read it? Yeah, I better. Now this one I have heard really good things, so I 100% want to read this Christmas. And it's How My Neighbor Stole Christmas. I got this on Vinted. I think it was one of the first Christmas books I bought. And she's stunning. And the fact is, like, the heart is meant to be like a Grinch kind of retelling. I'm so excited. And then I also got Merry Christmas You Filthy Animal by her. Like, look at the cover, look at the name. I had to buy it and I want to read it. Next up is Merry Little Meet Cute. I haven't heard many things about it. I just saw Tessa Bailey wrote a thing on it and bought it. It was like £3 in the works. Also, I bought this one in the works, and it was Jingle Bell Mingle. And I remember, literally, they're the same author, but I remember seeing this and being like, is that the author who wrote American Queen or something like that? I'm like pretty 100% sure. And I'm pretty sure she read Priest as well. I'm trying to read my book, but I can't see. Next up is The Christmas Fix, which is honestly a really short book by Lucy Score, so we'll see if I read it. And I also bought Holiday Ever After by Hannah Grace, because I saw it in Tesco and I was like, you know what, hell fucking yeah. Christmas, Hannah Grace, I'll buy it, sure, cool. And I also forgot one. If that was any other book, I would not have got up to get it. But since the cover is beautiful, I got up to get it. And that is The Christmas Tree Farm. I also want to read this one. I didn't get to read the Cinnabon bookstore, but I heard that they're not even the same characters, so it doesn't even matter. Or the same characters, obviously I know they're all interconnected standalone, but I just mean they're not from the town anyway, so yeah, that's my books. That's it for today's video anyway. I feel like it's been really quick. I think I went rapid fire. I'll be shocked if it's even 9 minutes long. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Glad it's over. These aren't my favorite to do. I was so excited to do them, and now I'm like, why was I even excited in the first place? But you know, it was good to have the excitement while it lasted. That's it for today's video anyway. Fingers crossed I actually read my TBR this month. Still have not finished the TBR I set myself to do in a month, but you know what, that's okay. There's always next year, but we still have 30 days left of the year. There is a chance I could read these. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Thank you so much for watching Vlogmas Day 2, and I will see you in the next one.